fractions in simple steps. That means in very easy steps. Addition, we have a over b plus c over d. A over b plus c over d. It is quite simple. What we do, we multiply denominators b times d, and we take it as a denominator here. This is the denominator, b times d. Numerator is made out of two parts. The first one is a times d. A times d comes here, a times d. Then c times b comes here. C times b comes here. So we cross it like that and like that. A d plus c b. A d plus c b. The denominator is normal, b over d. Then you can replace letters with numbers. Come to subtraction. Subtraction is exactly the same as addition. The only difference is the sign minus, which we keep here. So let's say a over b minus c over d. So this is a fraction minus another fraction. So if you remember this, we start with a line, then denominator. Denominator is multiply two denominators, just like what we have done with addition. So b times d comes here, b times d. Then the top part of it is we cross these two like that and like that. We cross a with d and c with b, and we keep the sign always there. If it's minus, in this case is minus. If it's plus, in this case we keep it as plus. So a d comes here, c b comes here. Now all what you need to do is replace the letters with numbers you have and apply the rule of A, B, C, D. Multiplication is much easier. To multiply two fractions, let's say A over B multiply by c over d, a fraction times another fraction. As we know, you can replace these letters with numbers. So the answer is straightforward. We come to start with denominator is b times d comes here. Then numerator is a times c as a numerator. Then apply the numbers when you've been given the numbers. So multiplication, as I said, is the easiest among the four of them. So we just straightforward, this one times this one goes here, then this one times this one goes here. Then after that, the final one is the division. I believe that division is the second easiest among four of them. So second is why it is the second easiest, because division is just like multiplication, exactly the same. The only difference is we turn divide into multiply, then we turn this second fraction upside down. In this case, we have CD. We turned it into D over C. C over D turned into D over C. So A over B divided by C over D. These are letters, but you can replace them with any numbers and the rule is the same. So you do equals, then we take the first equation, the first fraction as it is, A over B. Then we take the sign, which is divide, we turn it into multiply. Once we do this, immediately we put this one upside down. C over D will become D over C. So it's not C over D, it's D over C. Then we apply multiplication as we know it. So we have A over B times D over C. So the denominator is B times C, goes here. The numerator is A times D, comes here. If you find it a little bit confusing, I will give you another way if you can remember this one. So the second one is A over B divided by C over D. I can do it in a direct way if you follow me. A over B divided by C over D equals. We can use it by crossing the two equations. This is a straightforward answer. So when you have an equation in this form, an equation or a fraction in this form, A over B divided by C over D, what you do is numerator is first numerator times denominator is A times D. A times D goes at the top, A D. Then we cross the two others, numerator and denominator, B and C. B times C. A times D goes here, B times C goes here. B times C. If you look at the two methods, this method and this method here, we end up, they are the same, exactly the same fractions. We end up with the same answer. Same answer. Same answer. I believe this is much clearer. So among the four, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, to make it easy for you, learn multiplication first. Remember, it was easy to remember. Then after that, once you master it, it was easy to remember, multiplication, go and learn division, because division is exactly the same, almost the same actually, as multiplication. The only difference is we change the sign, divide into multiply, then we flip the second equation, or we just cross it straight away as we show here. Cross it straight and you get the same answer. Then once you learn multiplication, then you learn division. Master them first, otherwise you get confused. Then go and learn addition. Addition, as I explained in the beginning, this is the addition, yeah? Remember, plus, plus, keep plus. Once you master the addition with some examples, then finally practice on the subtraction. Subtraction is exactly the same thing as addition. The only difference is the sign plus and minus. In addition, we take plus here. In subtraction, we take the minus here. If we keep the signs, don't forget the signs. So addition and subtraction are exactly the same fractions, the way we work them out. Then multiplication and division, more or less the same if you understand the rule of turning the sign divide into multiply and swap the second fraction like this, make it upside down, then everything will be clear if you follow my strategy and my method slowly. I can give you more examples and help you more with more maths. If you're welcome to get back to me. Thank you.